highly esteemed opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct.
No, that's me. That's wrong.
Find that?
Yes.
It's wrestling with him.
That's right.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwsomeCast. It is time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwsomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the social medias in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here on a Tuesday night, as we do. And we're ready to get geeky with you guys. First of all, we have with us from Studio C in the Big D of Dormont, PA, where I tend to walk to once a week now, actually, is John Chichilla. What's that?
You walk all the way here?
I walk to the end of Potomac and West Liberty from my house and back, and that's a good 3 miles. And that's
impressive.
Yeah, that's I've been looking
especially
for
in this heat.
And it's weird if I walk from my house to the other end where all the suburban houses are in this cul-de-sac over here, it's basically the same distance. So my sense of direction and spatialness has been really kind of growing lately. But yes. So how is the Chilla?
The Chilla is good. I'm trying to stay off the Amazon Primes because there's things that I want.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about Amazon Prime here in a little bit, Prime Day here. For all those who celebrate the day of the fallen of our Savior Optimus Prime. Also celebrating is Katie Dudas, the Dudders, is with us.
And everything in my Prime cart is non-tech.
No, really? You just have house supplies and I saw my allergy medication is on Prime Day discount right now.
Celery juice powder and running shorts and tank tops. All workout gear.
I'm having a practical Prime Day. You know, you're having the Prime Day of my mother giving me socks for Christmas. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. That's it.
We're at that age when I would love socks and underwear for Christmas. Please buy them for me. So I don't have to pay for them.
Absolutely. I barely buy socks and mostly socks. My mother will always get me socks, but also big. Well, you and I have problem finding socks sometimes, right? So, we have, but anyways, we're tall.
We're gonna get some really weird Patreon.
Yeah,
subscribers after this show.
You know what we should do? You know how all the OnlyFans and all them they have an Amazon wish list. We should do one for AwesomeCast, but it's just our abnormally sized sock sizes, and practical things, and see what happens. Support us. But anyways, this is the AwsomeCast, and we're gonna get geeky with things, and we like to kick off with our awesome thing of the week. Let's go down the line, guys. What is your awesome thing of the week? And I'll get into the right tab here. Who would like to go first? Because I didn't look at yours yet.
Mine's I can go first.
Okay.
It doesn't matter to me.
So
mine is actually, and I've broke my own rule this year. iOS 18 public beta has launched. There's a number of things that you can try. You can go sign up on the beta site. Your phone will automatically let you download it. I will say, all in all, I have not had an issue.
Okay.
And I've been running developer beta since beta 2 on my iPad, and then I just bit the bullet last week and loaded developer beta 2, which is now I think at beta 3 on my phone.
And for those that don't know, what are you running on your phone and iPad? What versions are they? Or what version devices are they?
The iPhone is the newest one. I've lost track of the numbers.
I think
is
we're
that
up to 15.
14 to 15 Pro? I don't do the Max. I can't carry a device that big. I feel like I'm holding an iPad up next to my head. And then the iPad is the M2 iPad Pro, but I opted for the bigger 12-inch with the keyboard. It's not the newest one, it's the last gen. But the one thing I will say about the iPad is I don't think I could ever go back to not having cellular. I used to tether all the time, and now it's just like poof, it's on. But the beta has been really solid. I will say they're up to their usual of iterating versions and giving you more. I did have a hard time finding the Apple TV remote via the control center quickly. But everything, like I haven't had a problem with apps. I haven't had a problem really with anything. The latest beta, at least the latest dev beta, has added all of the accented, like themed icons. So if you're in dark mode, the Apple, at least the Apple and a couple other companies already have them set up. I get the dark icons versus the light icons. If you're in light mode, I'm a big dark mode fan. I do like the new control center. It's kind of broken out into like 6 different sections. It's like your favorites. I can't remember what the second thing is. There's like stuff that's related to music and Bluetooth connections and Apple TVs. There's a favorites, or there's a home section. There's a connectivity section. So like all of your Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi and everything, give you some drill down in there. It's a really nice way of breaking it apart. So I found that, and you can actually hold an icon and it jiggles and you can move things around. You can now do that in Control Center to move the stuff around, or at least I've never done it before. Maybe that's not new, but you can now rearrange. You can move icons and have spaces on your page. I would be honest, as long as you have a device that can run it, I wouldn't be too concerned, based on what I've seen on both devices. And I use my devices a lot. So, and like, I can't control my TVs. Like, it's a big deal. Like, if I lose my like ability to do things, like even the edge stuff that probably most people don't use, like, it's a big deal for me. But it's been very solid.
Well, you're still admittedly kind of in the danger zone. Like, this is not recommended for everybody. Like, I we can't say that like everybody should be like, hey, just load this this dev thing on your phone, right? Like my worry is like, I'm the person that had. I was in San Diego and using Uber and Lyft and everything several years ago, and my phone died. And I wasn't doing a beta, just something happened with my phone, and I had to reinstall the entire thing from scratch. Just none of the apps were loading, right? The only time that I think I ever experienced this happening. You're increasing the chances of something weird if you depend on it, though.
Yeah, to your point, though, like, anything could happen at any time, even on the normal OSs. I probably go a little further than most. I usually, at minimum, when I travel, I carry a device without a SIM card in it that's on the ready, that if my primary device dies, I can take the SIM card out and put it in there, or I can run and go get a SIM card.
But if you're the person with one phone, and that's your only phone, and that's the thing that you need to get around.
9 times out of 10, but that's only when I travel.
Sure.
When I run to the CVS down the street, I'm not. No. Don't take. No, but I'll be here. Like, but my iPad is my primary.
Gauge your importance.
Gateway.
If you have an old device, if you have hand-me-down, like I think we just need to temper that. I think so. But no,
if you like, even if you're just like, I wouldn't give up my own. I never. We do like the hand-me-down.
Yeah.
And then the fourth device, like, gets held on to for a year as a backup for any of us. And I'll be honest, like the one time Christopher, like, accidentally, I had just swapped out all of our phones, and we went over to my in-laws, and Christopher sat down on the couch, and the phone slid out of his pocket down into the sofa and jammed itself perfectly in the metal of the ottoman. And he went to get up to go pull it out, and it crunch. But we had that other device, right? So we just, hey, here's the old device back. You're waiting another year now.
Yeah.
But we usually keep at least a device on standby.
Stuff happens. All right. So again, if you got an extra device, it looks worthwhile. I have like a 13, and my iPads are. I mean, I was like, oh, what do I have for old ones? Like, here's a iPhone X. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think it'll load on that.
It's at 16.7.8, and that's not going any further. So there's that. Awesome. Katie, what is your awesome thing of the week?
Listen, I want to talk a little bit more about the beta, because the things I was excited about was that you can schedule iMessages, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that we definitely have to talk about that, because that is very nice, because I don't know if you're like me and you think of something at a random time of day, either early or late, and you know this person is either not awake or whatever. And if I don't send it now, I will forget it. And sometimes they don't have that, do not disturb up, and you feel terrible bothering them. That's cool. And then the flashlight updates. Did you see this, Chilla? Where you can change the beam of the flashlight on your phone.
I have not used it yet, because usually I need like broad light, but I'm interested in when I can put it to good use. I will also say in the latest dev beta, I'm not sure if it's available in the public beta, I have access to RCS. So I know when people are typing to me on Android, neener.
I love it.
Love it.
All right, so my actual awesome thing of the week is an air purifier. Very exciting, I know. But old Pittsburgh house plus critters plus, everything else happening in our area. The air quality changes in the house, and we all have a lot of allergies and, things happening outside coming, just the air period in Pittsburgh. But dealing with a lot of allergy issues and just like general, in older houses. I've gone through a few air purifiers at this point. I had a big honkin' one that lasted 2 years that I absolutely adored, but then died, and now the company doesn't exist, which is kind of annoying. It's one of those Amazon purchases where you're like, oh, this is a company, and then it's gone. Tried a few smaller ones that I saw on TikTok that everybody was excited about. But this brand Levoit, I don't know if I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, but it's a Levoit air purifier. And this is the one I just got really recently because it was on sale and I was super excited about it. The thing is incredible. It's got 2 filters. The app is so easy to use in that I can change it no matter where I'm at. I cannot be at home and I'll get a notification that the air quality at my house is dropped. And the fun thing is to figure out why. And I'm like, did the cats poop? Did this happen? And the other day it was like, the air quality has dropped down, because I get the notification up and I'm like, I wonder what happened. So I go downstairs and roommate burnt something in the kitchen. So it determined that the air quality had dropped, kicked into auto mode, and it was like, okay, the cycle has gone through and the quality is back to very good. So that's fun. I like that part of stuff. It is incredibly quiet. The previous one, even the night mode, this is quieter than the night mode. Even on high, you barely hear it. Even when it was on downstairs, yelling down to roommate or vice versa, we couldn't hear each other with the old one. But this one, it's like nothing. And it's not a huge size, and it's got a lot of the lights. I have it so it automatically, when it gets dark out, it senses the light, and all the controls go dark. So it's not like it's a bright light in the middle of the night. Oh, I love this thing. I am all in on this thing. I can schedule it. I have a timer. It's super easy to use. It is on Prime Day for I think it was $151 right now.
Yep.
I lost my thing wherever it went.
$151.99, 20% off.
Yeah. I can tell you, I bought it at the beginning of July, and it was just a few dollars more. So, I mean, if you don't need it right now, I mean, the Prime Day deal is not that exciting. I'm assuming it's going to go back down to this price or close to this price again. But yeah, Levoit is definitely a company that's been around for a minute and has a lot of different products. So it's not like it's a lot of different air purifiers, and it's usually on a list of like top air purifiers, which is exciting. So it's a thing, and I don't have to worry about hopefully in 2 years being like, oh, it doesn't work. Now what? And you have this big giant thing in your living room. But yeah, I love this thing. And like I said, if you got allergies or pets or, you know, just whatever, Pittsburgh air, or you burn things a lot in the kitchen, I love it. I definitely have noticed the difference in the air.
Where do you put it in?
It has washable filters. Which is, like you're not buying filter after filter after filter.
First, I like this image of the like he's holding it in front of the dog. Like, this is for you.
Like, you're the reason we need this.
This is because of you. Sorry. I think I stepped on your answer there.
Oh, you're fine. But yeah, it's got it's got 2 filters. So the one that's washable is like that outer filter where you can wipe it, and that outer filter was the thing that caught most of the pet hair in our old filter, our old air purifier. That was the thing, and it was like I was wiping it down, you know, and it was like, wow, I'm getting a lot of dust and whatever. That was the cool thing. And then I was able to go a little bit longer with like the in filter. It's like it's a thick boy, and he's taller, but was able to go a little longer with that. Then they were like, you're gonna have to change it, but you really don't have to change it as often as long as you're keeping that like first filter clean. And but yeah, I love it.
Awesome. I've been thinking about this because, you know, my house is it's old and it's got stuff, and there's things that are not right with the ceiling, you know, and things like that. Like, I feel like I've needed something like this for a while, so it's in the cart. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it, and hopefully we finally get one. I was going to ask, where do you put it in the house? Like, you just have one unit, but like, where do you kind of centralize this thing?
So the way our downstairs is it's like kitchen, I guess a dining room, but like we don't use it as a dining room, like second room, whatever you want to call it, and then the front room or the living room. So it's like 3 rooms and then the stairs. It's in that middle room that you would call a dining room, because that's kind of in between the kitchen and the living room, and then it's where the cat litter boxes are too. And yeah, it definitely will tell you when the cats have made a big smelly something and adjust. It's so smart. I love it. But like, I have barely noticed the smell, and like I said, the smaller air purifiers we got just wasn't handling it. It just, I don't know if the rectangular shape is the difference, but it's up to 1,800 square feet that it'll cycle that whole air out in an hour. So it's like, old air, here's new air in an hour. But yeah. So that definitely covers our downstairs.
That sounds great. That sounds good. Yeah. So we don't have cats anymore, but we do have, like, our dog is kind of like relatively puppy pad trained, I guess you could say. So we have kind of a similar probably situation there. So no, that would be helpful with that. So yeah, and I've also been concerned with and you know that air quality kind of situation. So, and I wonder, like, is this something where, you know, obviously, like, terrible, you know, it's not going to solve all your problems, but, like, you know, like my mother lives like up a little closer to East Palestine. God, I don't know. We were having a weird thing about that yesterday. You know, would it be helpful, like, for like kind of the day to day, you know, for those kinds of things, or is it more just kind of like localized issues?
I know roommate has bad asthma and allergies and has not been as bad recently since we started running this, and even he's noticed a difference. Like, whereas it hasn't been an issue, so it's been nice. At least little things.
I remember us talking about this a couple weeks ago now. So
yeah, no need to smother him in his sleep.
Yay! That's great. That's great. All right. Hey, I'm going to go back to the do an iPhone thing for my awesome thing of the week. I haven't got to play with this too much yet. I'm actually downloading it right now because I'm really curious about this. But we've seen the things where there's been like hacks and jailbreaks and things like that, and people are running like DOS or Windows or something on a phone. Obviously, there's enough power to do that. Well, again, we've had there's a game emulator, so you can play Game Boy and Nintendo games on there with the Delta app. But after, according to The Verge, after initially rejecting it, Apple has approved their first official PC emulator, or approved PC emulator for the iOS. It's called UTM SE, and it can run classic software, old school games for Windows, Mac OS 9, and Linux on your phone. That could be fun. It's available for free for iOS, iPad OS, and Vision OS, so you can run Windows XP on your Vision Pro. Chilla, are you ready for that? That seems like a you project.
Oh, I'm gonna be playing some X-Wing.
There you go. There you go.
Like the old school
I
X-Wing.
need to know how do I take my X-Wing CD-ROM and offload it into. I probably just have to find like a ROM download somewhere, right? So, anyways, that's really cool. So it's apparently big, or my internet is slow right now because it's taking a while to download. How big is this thing? Like to be an emulator like this? I imagine you're going to have to provide your own files. I do love when I loaded up the App Store listing for it, but this should be definitely worthwhile to kind of play with. Link to a site. It guides. It had if you link to the UTM site, which the app does. It gives you guides to install everything from Windows XP through 11 on this thing. That's fun. So you can play with that. You can also put DOS on there listed as well. Supports both VGA mode for graphics and terminal mode for text-only operating systems. It emulates x86, PPC, and RISC-V architectures. If you're old school and interested in these old things, you probably already know what those are. Pre-built machines, or create your own configuration from scratch. That's cool. This is going to be a fun little thing. I mean, even throwing it on like maybe on an iPad or something like that. Like I wonder if like I have the original iPad Pro. I'd like to see if maybe it's got enough juice that we can it's a nice big screen. I can throw some old school DOS games on there. That'd be kind of fun. Play some Quake.
Will it run Quake or Doom?
Will it run Quake? It says it runs Windows 11. So, and actually, as far as that goes, let me screen share my the shop over here. But it actually shows Doom running in the emulator in the App Store, and there's some Oregon Trail. There's some Windows XP. The baseball game, the space pinball game. Yeah, sorry. and it's showing the screenshots for Linux. Yeah, there's some terminal for you. Get excited about terminal on your phone. So there's a lot of looks like pretty good options in there that you can play with. So FreeDOS is I guess part of you, something you can pop in here. So it's I think that's pretty cool. I love that it's opening up. I love that they're finally better late than never. Oh yeah, this is 1.6 gigabytes, so it's going to take a little bit to download to your phone, I guess. A little more than I expected. A little more than the video game emulator was for sure. And Delta's the video game emulator if you want to check that out. Like I said, I know it has Game Boy. Like I think it's all Nintendo stuff up to N64. Which is wild to be able to play like N64 games on your phone. So, but yeah, that's a fun one. I don't know if I should show this one because, yeah, good stuff happening over on that front. Thank you EU, I guess, for this stuff happening. So, but it has seemed like kind of a weird thing to kind of keep off of there. But I guess they're question mark of it being kind of a vector for attacks and things like that. So, anyways, thank you everybody that has been supporting us. Patreon.com/AwsomeCast, and of course we do have a new Patreon feature where we have been going live a little bit before we go live for everybody else, and you see what goes on while the usually it's just me kind of counting down, but maybe it's less exciting. But no, us recording through the show, behind the graphics, and getting to all the way up into we do a Patreon for the weekend, stuff like that. You can get that there live or a little more immediately if it's taking me a little bit to get the Patreons together, the Patreon exclusives together, so you guys can support that at patreon.com/AwsomeCast. Thank you everybody that does support the show that way, and I hope you've been enjoying the conversations that we've been putting out there. I know we didn't have one last week, but we will hopefully get back to it again this week. But thank you everybody that does support the show at the Coffee Club level: Cynthia Klosky, and the fan show level: Michael Fedor, John DeGore, and Dave Ponder, spouse of Ruth Julia Fair at RuthJuliaFair.com. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show at patreon.com/AwsomeCast. And make sure you're following us on all the social media. We have a lot going on there. We have a lot of clips from the show. If you missed the big one, we're putting that out there, and there's actually some people can getting more comments and everything. So it's a nice little bite-sized bits and be able to dig up the show that they don't have to sit here for an hour to get everything going on. So we're really enjoying that kind of outreach that's happening due to that. So let's get into some other news things going on. Do we want to talk about? Oh, I guess we already. Well, Katie, you just talked about the iOS 18 stuff, right? So was there anything else?
Yeah.
And that pretty much covered our bases.
That was the most exciting things, at least for me.
What's the next exciting thing?
Oh, the escape a boat on a train?
So what?
Escape a boat on a train.
I just went down the list. I was like, you mean the escape a boat on a train?
That sounds great. What's that about?
I had to read this article like 20 times, please, before I figured out what was happening. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
So it's a Royal Caribbean cruise, but like if you're tired of being on the boat, you could take a virtual train ride.
A virtual train ride.
But yeah, so like it's a unique experience called Royal Railway Utopia Station, where passengers dine on a virtual train ride while staring at a simulated scenery zipping by on giant screens.
What?
It's supposed to look like you're in like a full-size like rail car, and you're like, this is like so fancy, but like the windows outside look like you're on a train, and they've got train conductors, and they've got subwoofers to make it feel like you're on a track, all on a cruise ship. And like you got food, a movie scenery, they got live shows, themed characters. Like I'm sure, I don't know, maybe they come on there and say, hey, they were, you got bank robbers or whatever.
It's a train robbery.
Like, hey, stick them up. Put
your jewels in the sack. Oh, yeah, wait. I think they do. Wait a minute. That's exactly what they do, according to this video. Oh, no.
I didn't watch the video yet. Oh, no.
Oh, this video is great. But then you're with your kids,
Oh, my gosh. And I'm like, do you get sick? Like, does this, I don't know. Like, is it, I don't know. I guess if you're not getting seasick, you're not getting train sick. I don't know. But, like, it's... What is it? 40. The restaurant's capacity is 48 guests. The experience isn't included in your cost of the cruise. Sorry. It's an extra $120 for adults, an extra $60 for kids.
Wow.
The meal included?
Yes, you get a dinner and a show on a train.
Dinner and a show on this train. I love it. That is.
Yeah.
This brings me back to, because remember your roommate worked on an escape room that has subway car? And there's a whole mechanism where you're in the subway car and go someplace else in the escape room. And like it had, and I don't think it probably not as, I can't remember if there were video screens. It was just kind of like lights or something, or, would flicker to make it seem like the car was going. And then like a wall would move and reveal another part of the room you didn't see when the door opens again.
And subwoofers, the power of subwoofers.
And the power of subwoofers. Wow. This is awesome. So I still don't have much desire to go on a cruise necessarily, but it's just kind of, I love the tech behind this.
No, you cross off cruise and train off your vehicle to-do list.
I've been on a train. But have you been on a train on a cruise? I mean, come on. So
again, fancy stuff.
That's part of the Royal Caribbean cruise, and is on the Quantum of the Seas, I guess, whose a big feature was including USB charging ports in every room. What the hell? So RFID guest trapping, robotic bartenders. Hey, it is like Disney World a little bit, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
On a boat.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, by the way, I cashed in my points. I think we're officially going to Disney World in November.
Yay!
Got the plane tickets today. Little by little, getting that. I can't even get tickets yet, but no. I'm loving it. I'm loving the idea of taking Missy to that stuff now. So, anyways, what else we got here? Chichilla, what do you want to hit up here on the list? You got one thing.
In honor of Prime Day, I'd highly recommend. I haven't purchased one of these yet, but I'm very tempted. Amazon has a 43-inch QLED 4K ultra high def smart TV with Dolby Vision, Fire TV, the Fire TV ambient experience, and hands-free with Alexa. All in all, I would say the device is very, very nice looking, and obviously comes with all the amenities of an Alexa device. I I thought it was very impressive that it has Ethernet, Wi-Fi. I think there's 3 HDMI 2 ports, 1 HDMI 2.1 with CEC. I think it had an optical port, which I was interested in because I still use the optical ports on my devices. And it was released 2023. So it's still a newer device. There hasn't been a device released in 2024. And it does have more ports than most. And, it seems like the quality is very, very good on it. I think if you order it, you also get I don't have MGM Plus. I don't know anyone that does, but it comes with a free 6-month subscription to MGM Plus.
Hey, you can find out if that's a thing that you care about. Right?
The thing that I do like is the ambient experience. And we have the bigger Amazon Alexa, the one that looks like a big picture frame in our kitchen. It has that experience like when you're not using it. So like we use the Post-it note features a lot. We use the calendar feature a lot. I could see it being of benefit for having this. So very, very cool device. Not too pricey. I would be interested in the 43-incher. 43 inches is $359.99 as part of the 20% off Prime Day deal. Get them while supplies last.
Commercial Chilla in full effect right now. So I'm so gun shy on buying anything that's not a brand I trust for screens right now, because we've been grabbing like some kind of random stuff for production since we move a lot, and then like I've had some like, well, okay, we'll shift this to my production machine, and they have been so bad lately that I've been like, I feel like I have to get like Acers and things like that I'm very, very familiar with. So I'm really afraid of getting anything that's a discount television right now. And not that I've gotten a new one for like, I think my Vizios are 10 years old and I'm fine with it, right?
Well, and even like, I don't know how you grade them, right? Like Sony, Samsung, LG, then what's down the like is Vizio on that next rung? Where do you rate? Like the one that I find interesting is TCL, and because like some of them have Roku embedded, some of them have Amazon embedded.
I feel like
one thing I will say is like I go to an Airbnb, every year for the 4th of July. Go to a couple different places, and I will say like in those places I see a lot of TCLs. And I know, and the picture quality isn't bad. They have the Roku or the Amazon TV hooked up to it, and like they're not replacing it every year. And that thing like I would think the worst treatment for a device would be in a rental. But they seem pretty good, and it would be interesting to me. I've never had an issue with any of my Alexa devices. To me, I guess it would just depend on whose panel they're actually using inside the device.
I can tell you don't use, Insignia don't use, to start with. I have a pretty terrible Dell for some reason. But
surprising because I think Dell uses Samsung Glass.
Well, Dell typically is okay, but I think this Dell is not a good Dell. I think it's a budget Dell or an old Dell or something like that. Because somebody wanted to have matching monitors, so they kind of replaced mine, like theirs with mine, because they have this like arm thing on their desk, and I was like, this is the worst thing, and I'm editing video, so I need to do something with that. So, no, yeah, it's tricky. I'm just I've had some really bad panels, and I'm really kind of gun shy. I'm kind of at that point where I need to go to a Best Buy and look at all the DVs. To figure out what I like and what brands and everything like that to refresh before I have to make any kind of purchase, right? And I know that's not the best because I know they just pump up all the stats on those, or all the specs on those and everything, and the color and all that kind of stuff. So, but anyways, no, so that's pretty good. So that is that's an Amazon deal, you said, a Prime Day deal.
And it's the Amazon Fire TV, so it's like
43-inch,
their branded TV.
20% off. It's going for $340 if you're hearing this. This is on a Thursday, and I think that we're on day one of Prime Day, I suppose. So $359, usually $449. So go look at that. Also, I want to put a shout out if you are listening to this this comes up. I'm sure if I listen to Mac Break Weekly from today is going to be brought up, because I think this is one of those Andy Anatko recommendations. Camel is a site that I use all the time, especially since I am always kind of pricing hardware for our production equipment, and I want to kind of know what's happening with the prices and things like that. This thing, if you connect it to your Amazon account, it'll keep an eye on things on your wish list, things in your cart, things you have for save for later, and then it will tell you. Let me see if I can pull up like my stuff here. I don't know if I'm logged in necessarily, but it's really good for. And you see a graph. Let me see if I can pull up. And I get email updates for these things, right? So let me see if I have a recent one. I'm surprised I don't, since we're right in the middle of Prime Day. Camel. Let's see. Like here, you'll get something like this. This is a random. That's not a good example. Let me get another one here. Here's a Steam Deck or Stream Deck, for instance. So what you get along with this is, you get what the price is and everything. You can see what the retail is. You can set a desired price for something, and then you get this chart, right, where you can see, hey, this is what the retail was. This is what it's doing. So you can see the history of it, right? I have a case that we use for our kind of our racks for computer stuff, and it's the model is like 10 years old, and it's wild to watch these over the years. This is just a device that looks like it debuted. This graph goes back to like October of 22. It looks like. So that kind of gives you an idea there. And you can see, like right now, at $117, like that is pretty much the lowest this device has been. So it gives you, based on Amazon, what's going on. Because sometimes they're going to have like deals on there that aren't actually deals. There's been a lot of kind of a pushback on Amazon for that when we come to Prime deals. Those like weird loss leaders that tell you it's a deal, and it's like, really you could probably got it cheaper at Walmart or something, right? So, or they never have a retail or something like that. So I don't know. Do any of you guys already use Camel for this kind of thing?
Probably should, but I never think about it.
I was gonna say, for the kind of equipment that you're looking at, like you could put your I got the air purifier on there. I can watch what's going on with it. If there's an update or something like that, right? I keep getting hit because I've been wish listing a Quest VR for a while, and now it's at like $430. I'm like, ooh, which also makes it harder not to pull the trigger sometimes when you get that email and you see that drop, and and also you're getting it like every so often, because they take $1 off and you get an email, right? In a fluctuation. So you start becoming aware of what's happening with that thing that you've been looking for, and you see it like, oh no, this just dropped this much. That's it. That's my threshold. I'm getting this thing. I just found out the soundboard I've been keeping an eye on just dropped $100, probably because of Prime Day, and I'm just like, wish I could pick that up right now. But be smart with it. It's going to be probably terrible for your bank account in general, but it's just still help.
Perfect.
So how do you set it? Like when you set it up, do you have to just point it public wish list, or do you have to give it account access?
I believe it. You have options. I can't remember. It's been so long since I set it up. So here it is. Here you got your price drop alerts. That's what I got signed up for. You can do history charts, and then you can do a browser extension. So I have an account of some sort. Like right now, it's doing like kind of the highlighted deals and things on the front page. If you just want to go through that, they have their free account kind of situation. So let's go to I don't know where to go on this thing. I honestly don't know where to go on the site to log in. Oh, there we go. Log in. I'll get off of there so I can do the quick login. I do believe I am connected to my Amazon account. I think you do have to give it access. Today,
I'm nervous.
How is it? Well, that makes you nervous. This is something that people have used for years. So I mean, I think it's been around long enough. I think I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, I also give like this shipping app all my Amazon info, so it lets you know when packages are coming. So yeah, there you go. So there's it sees my watch lists, and it sees like all kinds of video equipment. Yep, there's the Quest 3 that I was looking at and everything like that. I got a lot of adapters and even like a Mac and things like that. So and you can get in there and kind of look at those price fluctuations from there. Like the Quest 3 is definitely at its lowest price right now, right? So yeah, and view it at Amazon. Yep. And it tells me if I've got a price alert, and tells me it's 14% below my desired price. I think it kind of automatically sets desired prices, but you can say I want to pay no more than this much money for a soundboard or something like that, right? Or this much for a webcam, this much for a 4K webcam, and you can see when it drops down, or for something like that. So I think it's worthwhile for something like this. I've been using it for years, and it's been really handy to kind of keep an eye on that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's my Prime Day tip of the year, I guess. So, I think I have one more story in here. No, Katie, tell me about transparency. Full transparency. Full. What?
Oh, it's gonna ruin your Prime Day.
Oh no!
It's gonna ruin your I'm not gonna buy anything tech Prime Day. I apologize.
Oh no!
So this article from The Verge is talking about I think they called it clearly time, all the news about the transparent tech renaissance. And I love transparent tech. Loved it. I always talk about when things are transparent. I love it. It's the coolest thing. Back then didn't have a clear phone. Now I need it. I'm an adult with adult money. Now I need clear everything. I would like you to look at the first item on their list. It's an Elgato limited edition atomic purple Stream Deck. Look at that beauty. And it's clear.
And it's purple, and oh no, and it's $35 off. I don't even know what I'm going to do with a Stream Deck yet, but damn it, you had to do this to me.
You were doing so well. I'm sorry.
I was doing so well. I just bought a phone holder today, and that was it. Oh, I'm clicking. It's $125. I don't know if I can do that.
Is it down to 35? Is that what I saw?
No, it's $35 off.
Oh.
I did see your camel. I didn't see your guest. What's your threshold for buying an Elgato?
You know what? I know it's great that it's clear, but it's it's $15 cheaper if you just get the white model, though.
Yeah, but who wants white tech?
Yeah.
Blech.
Yeah.
Blech. Can you eat pizza and have white tech? No.
No, that is also true.
That's the Steam Deck you use in the hospital.
Ah! The Steam Deck you use in the hospital.
Yeah, you don't want that. That's like your IKEA house tech. We're not IKEA houses here.
Oh no. Oh,
yeah,
man.
so we got that. And then we got some other, Backbone and Post Malone have a transparent green smartphone controller, which is pretty cool on their list.
I've been wanting to get a Backbone, but I realize I'm probably upgrading my phone this year, and which means I should get a USB-C one, right?
Yeah.
This is a bad time for me to grab one for my 13 with the Lightning. So it's $200. Oh, because it's Post Malone limited edition. Okay.
Yeah. We're fancy.
Yeah. I love it, and they say reminiscent of the Jungle Green N64.
Ooh. Right, that's really funny. So we got some Beats earbuds that are red and clear. It tells you that they come in other colors, but those other colors are not clear. It's just the red. So don't get too excited when it says purple.
Okay.
Followed up by, we got a socketed desktop processor, mini transparent PC, little guy.
Okay.
That doesn't excite me. Whatever, I don't care. Let's see what else. Oh, we got a GameCube controller, clear, which I feel like we need. Look at that beauty. It's so nice. This is the Boring phone. Is a nostalgic branding. It's a Heineken and Boring combo collab. It's these very basic phones. Literally, you could just make phone calls on them. They did something earlier with another collab with Barbie phone. It was a Barbie pink flip phone. But this is their current one. Oh no, it's an upcoming Barbie flip phone. Sorry, I forgot where the Barbie flip phone was coming out. But it's literally just a flip phone, and it's cool to have because why wouldn't you want a flip phone? Because I missed that.
There's the Barbie flip phone.
But you got that, so it's clear. Then you got some other things. There's like a clear TV, which is always cool. Like the LG's transparent OLED TV. Those are just really cool to see, anyways, because who doesn't want a clear TV? We're fancy. Mm-hmm. And then what else? So you got a battery thing, and some other stuff, and a Steam Deck. What else? It's just like it just keeps going. There's a Steam Deck clear now. If you've always wanted to clear one of those bad boys. Transparent batteries, retro Mac chargers. This is like you got a Flipper Zero. You got everything. Anything you can imagine is now coming in clear, and I would like it to continue as so.
The question though, like the Steam Deck, mm-hmm. Is that just the case?
I think it's probably the case.
Yeah, because I will, fair bit of warning as someone that has put the clear case. That means you are taking every component apart on that device, including like getting a heat gun or a hair dryer to remove the screen out of the casing unit. That is.
So the ROG like Steam Decky thing. The
ROG Ally.
Yeah, the ROG Ally. Like that one is a backplate that like you're talking about. But the Steam Deck one is actually an OLED model. That it looks like it's the one that they are actually putting out.
Okay.
So
that looks like that's just the black one.
I think I just maybe I got into the wrong article, but according to this, because there's the backplate for the ROG Ally, but this one says here's Valve's own transparent Steam Deck, limited edition, $679, 1 terabyte model of the just announced OLED, only for sale in the U.S. and Canada. And
hit the next picture on that. Did they do the front too?
I think it's
I like the red.
Like you got your top.
Oh, I like the red plate.
Yep. So there you go.
My clear transparent case lights up with RGB on the back.
Ooh.
Whoa. You fancy.
I am fancy. I'm bougie fancy.
Bougie fancy, he says.
No hospital white tech for Chilla.
No.
Just to save $15.
I don't even like to keep my white cables.
So we all know Las Vegas is a big sphere out there. There was some tech that came out about, or some details that came out about it, according to PCGamer.com, that it is powered by 150 NVIDIA GPUs and draws 28 million watts. Because, of course, it does. I feel like when you go to Vegas, you feel all of the electricity that doesn't feel like it should be there because you're in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like,
why it's so hot?
You just look around, you're just like, this is all a bad idea, but I'm here for the day drinking, right? And the Sphere is definitely that on top of things. So, so it according to this article, they have over 10,752 cores, 48 gigabytes of memory, and have 300 watts TDP. I don't know what that means. So there's over 1,612,800 cores and 7,200 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. Jeez. To power this thing. I think is this just the outside of it? Because I didn't know if the inside, because it's obviously all 3D that's happening on the outside, right? For the most part, but like on the inside, like I thought it was more just kind of like it was a giant TV or something, perhaps. But I could be wrong about that. So
it sounds like it's just external.
Yeah, like what you see when all those videos we've been seeing on TikTok, right, and Reels. So I like the one where the smiley face looked like it was coming on to somebody standing on a rooftop. And then shyly turned away. Like that was a good one. That and the minion, and the monster minion was kind of fun too. So there you go. Jeez.
Well, I wonder when they feed that. Like, remember how like there was the plugins for like all the video editing where you would do to stitch your 360 video,
Mm-hmm.
and it had to process it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, like, are they just feeding it normal video, and all those video cards are warping it appropriately to bend around the sphere, so they don't have to
It's got to be like a
prefab all that stuff?
There's got to be kind of like a virtual view of it. I know there was somebody that premiered a movie there that was shot exclusively for it. This is near when it started. And they were on like, I don't know, they were on like Seth Meyers or Colbert or something. I remember seeing the clip. And they talked about, they're like, yeah, so we literally didn't see what this film was going to look like on the screen that we shot it for. Which means they shot it to like a spec that they understood the screen would be, right? And they literally didn't know how well it would have looked until the premiere. And the test play and everything like that. Well, to that point, like the edit's pretty much done, right? The bulk of it. So like that's how fresh this is.
They can't create like a mini sphere in a very secretive room where you could go see this ahead of time.
Somebody has a viewing sphere, right? You know, I mean,
like the size of a basketball. They could come
I don't know
on.
about that.
I'm not buying this. This is just laziness or
lazy. Where is that? Where, like, how many people are making content for this? You know, it's costly. I mean, obviously the biggest of brands, and maybe they do have access. Maybe they just send it to. Maybe they go to one of those volumes where they film Mandalorian, like Katie and I visited last year, and they just put it on that and hope, you know.
Hope.
So, I don't know.
It's all fine. It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be fine.
Wishes and hopes.
Maybe it's a VR thing. Maybe they just throw a Quest on their head and see what this thing looks like. You know, maybe the virtual projection of some sort. I don't see why not. You know,
on the basketball that you're holding in your hand.
On the basketball that I'm talking about the inside. I'm talking about the inside screen with this guy.
Oh, the inside.
Yeah. But also the outside. Yeah, I think that's the same thing. So you can't test this thing because everybody's watching. Because they built it so damn big.
Put a curtain around the whole thing.
Put a curtain around it. There you go. What's going on? Just like helicopters just bring this like it's just like the old film. Sorry, a lot of Tony Storm in AEW, so a lot of old timey films of where there's just like the hold up the towel while they change kind of thing. But just obfuscate this from what do they call the boulevard there? Sunset? Is it Sunset Boulevard? No.
They got a very big megaphone. Everybody, please turn away from the sphere.
No peeking.
Nobody look.
No peeking at the sphere. The sphere is having a private moment right now. Jeez. On that note, I think it's time to wrap up here. I'm through everything. There was just a lot of bad news this week in tech. So like I'm looking at I can't remember last time I looked at TheVerge.com and just got sad every day. I looked at the headline for everything this past week. I'm just like, this is all bad news. I didn't even want to talk about the new Samsung has new phones, I guess. So more foldy phones that Guys, thank you so much. John Chichilla at Chilla on the Twitters and Chilla's 579 places. Where go join him on the Plurk. That's where he's actually active, right?
Yep.
There you go. Katie Dudas, Kate Marie PGH on most platforms. Dutters PGH, K Dutters.
Sign up for a Plurk right now.
Oh yeah,
I'm plurking.
We were digging into the Plurk again last week.
Well, I can sign up for free.
Is it time to bring it back?
I don't know. It's sign up for Plurk. I'm signing up for Plurk.
Oh, you don't have your old account?
What's like? Is it like? What are the people on Plurk? Are they Plurkers?
I don't think we named people on. I don't think we were of that era. That. Like we didn't have names for people on MySpace, right? We didn't have a name for people on Facebook. We did not have. This Plurk was a thing we went to, So, thank you so much, Katie. You,
I'm on Plurk.
Oh yeah. Katie just.
Are you K Dutters?
I'm just Dutters. Which is weird. I'll find you on the Plurk.
Congratulations for Katie for doing another 5K this weekend. Actually, technically, I think you did 2 races this weekend, and I know
I bogoed.
I did one. You bogoed it.
I bogoed.
It is called a plurker.
It is plurker.
Oh.
Okay.
But it must not index very fast because I can't find Katie yet.
Welcome to Plurk.
I can't believe it's still running. We talked about maybe I'll talk about this in Patreon because Katie wasn't on last week. Thank you everybody at Sorgatron. I just went to Detroit last night and did a show with Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse on commentary on our equipment. I did not check the headset to see if there's any face paint on it. I should go see. So and Katie, I sent you a picture from that with a little note. And thank you so much at Sorgatron. I'll also be in Cleveland this weekend for Exodus Pro, NWA Exodus Pro, I guess. And we'll see whatever shenanigans happen from there. Thank you, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.